Hello there, and welcome back to my mini-series on the history of what is currently the World of David Walliams at Alton Towers. Previously I've covered the Fairground, Talbot Street and the Land of Make-Believe. Feel free to take a look at those videos if you like, and now it's time for Cred Street, so I hope you enjoy. So Cred Street opened in 1997 and had a fun, colourful, slightly wacky theme. It retained many rides and shops from the Land of Make-Believe, such as the indoor play area, mini Apple coaster, vintage cars, the Gallopers Carousel and Toyland Tours, the dark boat ride. However, the mini Apple coaster did depart after the end of Cred Street's first season, and 1997 also saw a new show brought in the theatre, namely Children's Fun Factory. However, I couldn't find more details about the specifics of the show. The opening year introduced Nickelodeon Out of Control, which was designed to be the signature attraction of the new area. This opened in the former Dollhouse exhibition, and batches of approximately 20 guests wandered through the funhouse-style attraction, which contained many different elements including rope bridges, slides, interactive sound effects and games, shadow walls and even winding corridors. At the end you entered a theatre room where you could watch your visit back. So, the whole experience was you featuring your own weird Nickelodeon-style show via hidden cameras. You could then exit either by the accompanying shop off the shelf or the Slurp and Burp Cafe. Now, Out of Control got mixed reviews from guests and was very short-lived, lasting just 2 years before closing at the end of the 1998 season. I believe the shop and cafe also closed at this time, and the low throughput is said to have not helped matters, and the attraction sat SBNO or standing but not operating for many years. In 2007, a children's Scarefest attraction, Patch's Pumpkin Playground, opened in the former cafe and shop. A small frog hopper ride opened in 1999 outside the former entrance, and there is one in the same location today, but I'm unaware if this is the exact same ride. With some of the area, including the theatre, not being used except for storage today, who knows whether there is still at least some elements of Nickelodeon Out of Control still there hiding. Now, Cred Street did take advantage of having well-known brands or characters to increase the area's popularity. Someone that did arrive in 2000 and stayed for 6 years was Barney the dinosaur. This resulted in a re-theme of the indoor playground and theatre. Barney, BJ and Baby Bop were featured in 3 live sing-along shows per day, and the playground featured ball pits, tunnels, bouncy castles and other inflatables. These attractions were taken over once again in 2003, this time by the Tweenies, with the show still having a sing-along format. Barney and the Tweenies also had accompanying shops whilst they were there. A Bob the Builder show then arrived after the end of the 2005 season, and from 2006 onwards, the indoor playground was purely known as Cred Street Playground. At the theatre, TV characters were not all. A special summer show was put on in 2006 in partnership with Cartoon Network. Draw a Toon was a show that taught children how to draw their favourite cartoon characters. After Bob the Builder left, there was a new interactive show that ran during 2007 called AT-TV. It was set up like a game show and children were picked from the audience to participate, with goodie bags for the contestants and special prizes for the winner. It contained lots of silly goings-on such as gunge tanks and even had a Halloween version. In 2008, a show called Wonder of Algernon's Attic began. Sir Algernon was the character who the story behind the Alton Towers Hotel was based around, but he wasn't in the show. Instead, it featured a cute character called Snorlax, Sir Algernon's niece and her uncle's friend, with magic and fun playing a big part in entertaining the guests. In 1997, the Gallopers Carousel was moved to Adventureland, but returned to Cred Street in 2004. There was also a double-decker version that was moved to the area from Thorpe Park in 2000, which was renamed Cred Street Carousel. Now, Cred Street Carousel, along with the vintage cars, were SBNO in 2004, as their part of the area was closed off to visitors, likely due to intended regeneration. Confusingly, in 2005, both rides were operational again. Cadbury's Chocolate House was no more in this year, however, with its location taken over by the flat ride Bouncing Bugs, a pre-existing ride at the park. In 2006, Toyland Tours closed, becoming Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This Mack ride had its boat ride layout shortened, and the theming was based on the original Quentin Blake illustrations. The final part of the attraction involved standing within the glass elevators, with screens making you feel as if you were flying through the factory, with a trembling floor adding to the experience. In the same year, the Vintage Cars ride did close for good and was replaced by the Peugeot 207 driving school. Colourful battery-operated cars could be driven by children around this fun course for approximately 5 minutes, which incorporated road markings, traffic lights, Belisha beacons, the lot. There was also some more light-hearted theming, such as a giant zebra as a nod to zebra crossings, a large lollipop lady, wonky traffic cones, and even a pair of hedgehogs, inspired by an old children's road safety campaign from the 90s and noughties. Children would have their photo taken and get their own driving licence after the ride. At times, real Peugeot cars could be seen parked nearby the attraction. So, shops. I mentioned the off-the-shelf shop before, which I assume sold Nickelodeon-esque merchandise, being the accompanying shop to the Out of Control attraction. However, I couldn't find any more info. In addition to the Cadbury Chocolate House, the fabulous toy shop, Haagen-Dazs World of Ice Cream, and Bertie Bassett's sweet shop were still part of the area when it became Cred Street. At some point between 1999 and 2002, the Bertie Bassett branding left, but the sweet shop remained, and the World of Ice Cream became Incredible Ices. In the same time period, Snack in the Box became Cred Street Diner, which was actually a huge McDonald's. It was then turned into a Burger King for the last season in 2008. If you didn't fancy any of the food options in the area, there was a picnic area in place throughout the whole of Cred Street's life, and the toy shop became Cred Street Toys between 2006 and 2008. Now, after 11 years and lots of changes, Cred Street was closed after the end of the 2008 season, with the old theming deemed ready for an upgrade. The area became Cloud Cuckoo Land from 2009 onwards, which will be the topic of my next video. And that's it. Thank you for watching/listening, and I'll see you next time.